Hi, this is Brother Mark Harris from the Feast of Tabernacles.com, and today we're going to be talking about
Rejoicing at the Feast of Tabernacles.
First, I'd like to introduce you to my family.
Howdy, I'm Jessica, Joy, Moriel, Faith, Olivia, Emily, Benjamin,
Sophia Grace, Jonathan, Daliana, Jason, Toya.
And this is my wife, Mary. Today we're going to be talking about how to rejoice at the Feast of Tabernacles a little bit. But first we want to see out of Deuteronomy 16, starting in verse 13, it says, "You shall observe the Feast of Tabernacles 7 days." And in verse 14 it says, "You shall rejoice in thy feast." You and your son and your daughters, and I got all of them with me here. And the stranger, the fatherless, the widow, all that were in your gates. And then 7 days you shall keep a solemn feast unto the Almighty. So that's what we want to do. Now, how do we do that? How do we rejoice at the Feast of Tabernacles? And why should we rejoice at the Feast of Tabernacles? Well, rejoice really comes from the word joy. And we're right now in this world, we're actually commended and actually kind of taught how to basically count it all joy when you fall into various trials. And that means it's not about what happens to you. Happiness is based on all the things that happen to you. So what we want to do is we want to have the joy of His Spirit regardless of what happens to you. Because you see, the Spirit gives us the power to be able to have that joy flowing through us despite of any obstacles we may face in this life. But something really exciting happens when the millennium happens, when the Feast of Tabernacles becomes a reality, when the kingdom of the Almighty finally comes to this earth. You know what that is? That joy and happiness are one, which means that it's not about just counting it all joy regardless of the challenges and issues and persecutions and whatever trials we may face. In fact, it's all about not only joy, but also happiness as well. So we're commended and commanded to make sure that we, during the Feast of Tabernacles, rejoice. In fact, you're not even allowed to be unhappy. You're not even allowed to not rejoice. In fact, it was in Nehemiah, they talked about how it was actually against the rules. So we have to be able to rejoice. So that's what we want to do during the Feast of Tabernacles. So regardless of where you're going to keep the feast this year, I strongly suggest that you get ready by thinking about all the things that you can be happy about, especially in the kingdom. There's all kinds of exciting things that are going to happen in the kingdom. There's all kinds of exciting things that are going to become a reality, a pure language. The lion and the lamb will lie down. The little child shall lead them. There's going to be no one's going to be hurting nor destroying in all my holy mountain, he says. So we're going to be in a place where it's going to be awesome. And everything is going to be not only happy, but we can actually express joy inexpressible, right? And rejoice for the whole Feast of Tabernacles. So I encourage you to do that. Read rejoicing scriptures beforehand. And by the way, if you want to keep the feast with us, you can do so by just emailing us at, of all things, rejoice@thefeastoftabernacles.com, and we'd love to have you. In the meantime, wherever you're keeping the feast this year, have a blessed and awesome time.
Rejoice, rejoice, and again I say rejoice.